Hello and welcome. This is Kevin, also known as AKAAWOL. And today I have a pattern in mind to do with some string that I have. And yeah, basically what it is I'm needing a new box of like the swatched out strings. And so I've already come up with the colors that I want to use, but I don't know what sequence to put it all in. So my thought was make the pattern, and then I can make the bracelet. And yeah, so this is kind of like normally like why I end up doing patterns. I know the pattern in my head. I don't know what order to put the strings in to make it happen. So that's why we're making this, is because I need to know which is the order. I'm going to use, there's basically 6 colors here. Now in the strings I have cut, they are all in shades of a red, but trying to do 6 different shades of red is really difficult to necessarily see if it's the 3rd one or the 4th one or whatever. But if we use the rainbow, we know that yellow is the 3rd, right? Green is the 4th. It's just super easy that way. So in this case, my red is representing either the darkest string or the lightest string, and that is yet to be determined. When I go to set it up, I have to make that executive decision, and everything after that is reflected based on that decision. So all right, so that's the first shape I want. And then let's see, we need greens. That looks pretty good. So you might recognize this pattern. I did it before. I think I might have even have labeled it as a pattern that you could just kind of work on it or whatever, like you didn't actually need to make out the whole pattern. But yeah, like I said, I still need to know which sequence to put this all in. So it gives me a good opportunity to show you what I actually use my graph paper for when it's just my own personal little projects. And again, the placement of all these colors is because I have done this pattern several times before. I know this is kind of how it looks. And I'll show you how filling it in makes a difference here. So here's the purple. And so the purple is the opposite end of this whole spectrum. So if I choose the reds to be the lightest, then purple will be the darkest. Right? So now we do the underlying strings. And while I get setting up with this, let me just thank my YouTube members for making this possible. Their help helped me to just buy something like 1,500 skeins of floss, which will keep me supplied for a while. So special thanks to you guys for making that happen. All right, so I'm just following the path where the yellow came from and where it's going. Part of why I'm putting that in is it'll help show me like what is left over. Like this is the easiest one off the start. Obviously the orange is the next easy one. We can just follow its path, see where it's going. And it's going to go underneath that yellow. Where it goes beyond that, don't have to worry about just yet. Of course, this pattern will be available after I finish putting it together over on my website. So you'll be able to go over there if you want to try to use this for yourself. It's a pretty simple pattern overall. It's one of my favorite kind of go-tos if I just have 6 colors and I want to make something that I think is relatively nice. It makes these cool shapes that sort of interlock with each other. It especially looks cool if you make it double wide or wider. I've done bags and stuff using this pattern. It turned out pretty cool. Okay, and again, we know that the red will go outwards at least past the yellow. So there we go. So now the question is, what are these next three colors? Well, we can take this green right here. We're going to go the other way with it, obviously, but take this green, and it went out to the edge. It's here, goes out, back here. And you can see it bounces. It has to, because there's no other space where it would go than to where that orange is. So that one's the green. Easy. Okay, let's try the blue. So the blue comes out to the edge, comes in, and it has to change where the red is, because the red's already making a different direction. This coming in, it makes a different direction. The yellow bounces it again. The red bounces it, the yellow, back to the red, and out. And then the next color is these purples. They're over here out at the edge. This purple's gonna come in, and that's gonna go all the way to the center square. So if the red is the lightest, then the darkest string will be right in the middle of it, which will make a nice contrast. And there it goes. So that now we have the order. We can fill in all the rest of the stuff if necessary. I'm going to just do it so that way anybody going to my website can just see the whole pattern done out. But this is sufficient for me to be able to work out which colors the order are for the strings, right? So I am thinking that the red will be the lightest color. So the second lightest and then the third lightest is where it starts, to the second to the first, and then the darkest, and then a little lighter and a little lighter than that. So that's the order this will be in. I will finish up this pattern and like I said, for anybody that wants it. In case you're wondering, this yellow here, it's gonna go like that, like that, like that, and it's gonna end up making the middle part here. And then the red will do this, and it just makes it so that way there's like two little reds in the center. The oranges come in like that, and the yellow comes in like that. So there, it's a smaller version of the top one for the center, and I've almost always done it that way, and I love it. I think it turns out looking really, really cool. So there you go. If you have any questions, comments, let me know, and I'll try my best to answer them as soon as I can. All right. Thanks for watching. Oh, if you haven't, hit the like button. And as always, don't get your strings in a bunch.